race fans, will you please welcome back Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Byron Leftwich for those most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Noise, fireworks to celebrate our nation's birthday, appreciative fans roaring their approval, and the rumble of 43 stock cars.
Yeah, these cars kind of defy logic. They're 800 horsepower engines that have been restricted down to 400 horsepower. So they won't what? Go too fast. Now that doesn't seem to go with racing at all.
But it will. And in just minutes. Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR, proud sponsor of the Budweiser Pole Award, given to the fastest qualifier at each Nextel Cup race. Jeff Gordon got his 50th career pole, one of the fastest 5 in history to do that, and he will be headed for the Budweiser shootout along with these drivers. If you joined us late or just tuning back in, here's another look at our Pepsi starting grid. 43 cars make the race, 6 went home. And you can find favorites just about all the way down the line.
Big field of cars. In fact, that was more cars than I think showed up here for the Daytona 500 back in February. 49 cars. Yeah, you heard Jeff Gordon talk about it. It's 4th of July weekend fireworks. If you love fireworks, save your money. Just stay tuned for the next 2.5, 3 hours.
You have patiently waited. And as you get ready to drive off, your crew says, be patient. But you've used all your patience up these last 2 hours just waiting for the race to get going.
Darrell, as you sit there in your car, as many of these drivers did for an hour or more during the rain delay, there's Kerry Earnhardt, are you thinking more about the things you can do, or are you thinking about the things that could happen?
No, you're wishing and hoping. You're wishing that your car would go to victory circle. You're hoping that it handles good enough and runs good enough to make that happen.
Side view mirror adjustment for Robbie Gordon.
We talked about these pit crews. You know, they're anticipating the night. They're going to have to make probably 6, 7, 8 pit stops, as we talked earlier, doing each and every one of those pit stops without a mistake. A mistake here at any time during the race on pit road, it can take you completely out of the race.
Crews all suited up in fire suits and helmets if they go over the wall to work on these cars.
For a driver, Mike, this is actually what we've been here for 3 or 4 days waiting to do. Run this race. You qualify, you practice, maybe you raced last night. But this is what you came here for, and this is what you prepared for.
What might we expect? One thing that's on everyone's mind in the cars and in the pits is what happened here last night in the Winn-Dixie 250. 1 lap to go. Michael Waltrip's 99 leading. He comes off turn 2. Jason Leffler tries to give him a push down the backstretch. Not out of the way, but that's where Michael ended up going. Out of the lead, out of the race. So Leffler's got the lead, but not his momentum. As Bubba P. Waltrip looks on. Leffler went up, got into Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Mike Wallace, who was 5th at the white flag, 1st at the checker.
You know, these cars, Mike, they have put so many bumper bars in them so they can...
To get the track thoroughly dry. Nothing puts heat in the racetrack like the exhaust from these engines and those wide steamroller tires. So they'll go green-yellow, which means that the laps are counting, but we are not yet out at racing speed. Pit road, Matt Yocum.
Well, Mike, Jeff Gordon's trying to do a lot of things tonight, rewriting NASCAR and his own racing resume, his own record book. He's never won more than one restrictor plate race in a single season. He's won 7 times on the plate tracks in 46 starts, trying for number 8 tonight. And the last time a pole sitter won this event, 23 years ago. Now, Gordon, he was very pleased with his race car in the final practice session, but he still wasn't completely comfortable. He worked a lot on his side mirror that's on the left side, the A-post right behind the windshield. He even got in his race car today just to make sure the angle was correct. 3 plate races this year, 3 different times. His team has spent a considerable amount of time working on that mirror just so he can have better vision on that left side. Steve?
Well, Matt, Mark Martin has had a tremendous Nextel Cup career, winning 34 times, including a win earlier this season. But in 38 starts here at the Daytona International Speedway, he has never been to that hallowed ground, which is Victory Lane here. He lives just a few miles from here. During the rain delay, he got out of his car. He didn't smile. He didn't talk to anybody. He's remained focused. He feels he might be a little bit overlooked. He wants to go to Victory Lane here in Daytona. To the editor of Speedway Illustrated magazine, Dick Berggren.
Well, thanks, Steve. Well, during that rain delay, we've had a chance to talk to just about every driver and off camera. We've talked to about every crew chief as well. And they have really gone with the flow of this whole thing. Nobody's upset. We run 36-point races a year, so these guys are used to rain. They're used to delays. They're used to this kind of situation. And when the drivers climb back into the car and they fasten those seatbelts, it doesn't take but about a heartbeat, and they're ready to go back racing. They are focused. They're ready to go. Mike Joy?
As Matt pointed out, the odds are against Jeff Gordon. Cale Yarborough won here from the pole in an MC Anderson Buick in 1981. The only other drivers to win this race from the pole, David Pearson in 74, Jack Smith in 1960, and local favorite Fireball Roberts in 1959.
And Mike, those mirrors are critical. It's just like getting in your passenger car and you adjust your rear view mirror, you adjust your side mirrors because you want to know where everybody is at all times.
You know, this is one of the other elements I love about night racing, and the race hadn't even started. Look at all of these flash bulbs going off by these fans. It looks like thousands of flash bulbs at one time.
It's like we're at the Shania Twain concert Tuesday night over in Orlando. They got a 1 to go sign, so they will get a green yellow next time by, run a few laps under yellow, perhaps pick up the pace of the pace car, and then turn them loose under green. You can see all the gray in the racetrack. The track is just about dry. The jet dryers are still working pit road. They're going to make one pass the length of pit road to try to get it as dry as possible.